Hey everybody, welcome to another World of Tanks video. We're gonna watch this fv4005. Alright, and since we're the commander of this fv4005 this time, you know we're gonna take this thing up into the battle. I don't want to watch people play the game for me. Now as I'm making my way up at the charge of this lemon train, I break off turning right because I don't want to sit up in this A line with them and waste time. And I know I'm saying waste time, but I think it's funny really because what used to be like the C line, or what would have been the C line here, they didn't waste as much time, but they got scared or comfortable and they don't really play the game anymore, so they'll settle in like, really sit back Overwatch type style positions. Anyhow, let's get back into the match because we have our first kill, and it happens to be a death one. So that's not good, but here we go. Way to start off. Right there, I just missed my first shot. I probably shouldn't have auto-locked it, to be honest. However, when you've played the game as much as I have and floated as much as I have, because they're not really playing the game, which makes me unable to even play the game. I know it's a little bit of a cop-out on both sides, really, if you ask me, but here we are. Now, as I'm just floating around the map here trying to control this center, knowing that they got an amount of Overwatch that is unknown to myself and my team even at this point, because I'm the spotter right now. Like, to be honest, whether I should be or not is not the case we're speaking on. The fact that I am where I am is the fact that I pretty much am one of the team spotters right now. And as we're pretty much in a pretty bad spot right now, we watch the team as they, quote unquote, got into position and or made themselves as effective as they could. And there we are, missing another auto-lock shot, which I shouldn't be doing, but I'm clearly probably just not even really playing this match because, looking at the map, I don't really even have to be playing or achieving anything to do better than most of my team right now. And that's already been proven enough and or provable enough because, look at the A-line. They took all that time getting up to the corner. They're fighting the teammates that huddled around C4, they all fell apart, so I'm really just here in C7 trying to hold my own. And I can, and the fact that they're not shooting this light tank behind me shows me that I'm not getting any support from this medium. Right? So maybe he landed a shot that I'm not seeing. And if you pay attention, I actually had a bullet right there. Probably would have been able to shoot it in time to shoot that light tank that did kill me. Because you can see by the kill cam, that's who killed me. That's who got the final shot. I may have died seconds later to somebody else on the enemy team, but by the looks of it, my bullet was loaded. And if I was spamming the fire button, I probably would have got the kill. However, that was clearly a game where I wasn't really sweating for my points. So, it turned out the way it turned out, and we didn't get the shot off that we could have got off. But I wouldn't say for lack of trying, it just wasn't trying hard enough. Now here I'm flipping through the POVs to find somebody on the map that I can kind of watch the whole map from. And I find this 4005 back here with his little stripey stripe on his barrel. Just one stripe though. He's definitely not a two-stripe player. If he was, he probably wouldn't need to be sitting behind his whole team as a two-stripe. He could probably carry his weight on the front lines of that one as a two-stripe. And then three stripes is when you come in, and at that point you're now getting more than your kills worth as a two-stripe on the front line, and that's kind of where that damage seems to be making its way, unless you're just playing pawn for pawn, and then by the end of it you're getting all of their pawns worth while sacrificing your pawns worth of health. Now it's probably more to it than that, but I feel like one stripe you're carrying your weight on the front lines every game, two stripes you're carrying yours, and you're helping somebody else more than carrying your own weight, and then three stripes is you're just like kind of an MVP of the game, but not if you're Overwatch. And it's not to say that they're bad players, if no matter the stripes they have on as Overwatch, because you got to start somewhere to be able to make yourself improve. Otherwise, you're just going to stay where you're at the whole time like they have, because even over my 10 years of playing this game, I realized these people don't want to play the game, they just want to play against each other, and that's forcing everybody to actually not even do as good as all of us could be. And that's why so many of my games, I'm really just floating through it. I'm not even, I just kind of help them do what they're doing while trying to do what I do, which is stay up on the front line and make sure I'm learning how to, actually experience experiences. Alright, here we're going to fast forward ourselves up to the match. Now, here I am, taking position on this bridge pass. And I sit here for a while. I really do, because I'm just holding the path. Look at the team. They're all going south. We've already lost our base. That guy's not too worried about coming down to shoot me around the corner. So I'm just waiting for somebody to come around that bend. Got it fast forwarded even. Now at this point it's regular speed. And I didn't know anyone was going to come around the corner or not, so I was just waiting, because the team wasn't really doing anything but holding their position. That guy never got off the hill to worry about me, so... funny enough, the bullet was probably shot a little early, but it is a 4005, and you do have to account for the timing of the bullet travel. However, the guy deflected it anyway, so we're just going to wait for our next shot now. And since the bot-like creature stuck around, he's in a position for my reload, and I'm just, doing that, and now waiting for another bullet or bycomer while I have my bullet. In my own common behavior, I suppose I just started pushing forward here, looking for some more action while I reloaded, and it was probably good because it looks like most of the enemies are either around the bend of the other side of the bridge, or they're down there in that fishbowl. I see myself a target here right underneath the bridge to the right. He's gonna either pull forward or back up from behind that rock, and we'll get a real good shot on him. And now that bullet was such a good shot to finish that tank off, we only have to worry about this one other tank that's pulling back under the bridge. And honestly, I feel like he doesn't even see us while we sit up here and reload our next bullet. Right there we see an incoming projectile coming from the right, heading towards under the bridge to the left there, aiming at that guy. And at this point we're reloaded, so we're just going to try and get down there and get our point. And I was just unable to get my barrel low enough to get a shot on that tank. So, since we saw teammates already able to get shots on him, we figured we're just going to get down there. The enemy happens to land a good shot on me, as I just said. And as I'm straightening my barrel, he throws his smoke in my way. So I have to push through his smoke to get to him now before he reloads, while I still have my bullet, because I'm going to have a pretty long reload after I use this bullet. After I get my shot off, I try to use his smoke. I realize it's evaporating. So, well, evaporating is not a good word. It's dissipating. So, I throw my smoke to try and get in his way, and I feel like after I see him pushing forward, I'm just going to try and buy myself the time I need to get my shot off. And then I just didn't drive the tank right. I probably could have evaded and won that battle if I actually applied more skill. But besides that driving failure there, I could have also just stayed in that smoke, and then probably would have been behind him when he come through that smoke, and he would have still been looking for me, and the smoke was still active, my own smoke. So, I might have actually, finessed that one. And there you have it. The last guy on our team's now dead. You can check the scores of each player if you want, but it's going to show on the rewards board here that we didn't really do much this game. I was the biggest asset on our team, and we saw what I just did, so... And that's that, folks. That's the fv4005. It's going to be pretty great when I'm done with it, but that's not stock model there, so...